Stages of habit installation. On the coding of any new habit, you'll move through an initial period of destruction, said Mr. Riley as he pointed to the first phase on the diagram. Keep at it and you'll definitely move ahead into the second stage of the process, where new neural pathways are formed and the real installation begins. This is the messy middle. Finally, as you stick with your practice of making any fresh routine your normal way of being, you'll arrive at the final and wonderful stage, integration. The whole exercise takes approximately 66 days, according to the research data of University College London. The Spellbinder, in his teachings, calls this powerful fact the 66-day minimum. 66 days of training to make a new habit yours. So, don't quit after a few days, or a few weeks, or even after 2 months. As it relates to becoming a member of the 5 a.m. Club, stick with your self-promise for at least 66 days. No matter what, do this one thing and the remainder of your life will be exponentially better. This I promise you from my heart, said the billionaire. See here, all change is messy in the middle. Stage 2 is called installation because it's like you're going through an interior renovation, of sorts. Former foundations need to be torn down so that much better ones can be put up. This stage will make you feel confused, stressed out and frustrated. You'll feel like quitting even more and dismissing your decision to join the 5 a.m. Club as a terrible one. You'll long to go back to staying in your warm bed and counting more sheep. Just know and trust that all is good. Very good, actually. And though you can't see it, you're advancing even further in the habituation of making the early rising routine yours for the rest of your life. Things are about to get easier. They really are. You're just going through the second stage of the procedure. And it only feels messy. And it only looks chaotic. The reality is you're growing beautifully. And closing in on a whole new grade of performing. In all disorder there is a secret order, said famed psychologist Carl Jung. So, when you're wiring in this priceless new morning routine, the entire structure of your brain really is in upheaval as you manufacture new neural pathways. Your whole system really is being restructured. You're honestly in seriously unfamiliar territory. Sprouting green shoots. Going blue ocean. Conquering new territories of self-potential and accessing higher universes of human optimization. Cortisol, the fear hormone, is elevated at this time, so you'll feel scared a lot of the time. All that's happening within your brain is consuming huge reserves of energy. I've been through this shedding and transforming process many times. Each time I go for a new habit, or greater skill, or even a more evolved core belief, I go into this death and rebirth cycle. And I need to tell you that it does feel like the end. You'll be so scared at times, tired a lot for a while and confused by what the dark voice of your ego will say. You'll even feel like you're going crazy sometimes. That's why so few people do this work. And why so few reach the rare air of epic performance and make a worldwide impact on the culture. It's a sport only for outright warriors. It requires enormous courage, immense conviction and uncommon strength of character. You have all this in you. Just resolve to apply it. As I said, with practice and patience, it'll all get easier. And eventually automatic. This final stage is when it all comes together, he explained, and you get to experience the benefits of your fantastic commitment to being a lifetime member of the 5 a.m. club. You're nearing the end of the roughly 66-day period required for a human brain and being to encode a routine. So now it's success time. You've advanced through the initial disruption, you've made it through the dangerousness and chaos of the middle phase, and you've come out the other side stronger, more skilled, and with greater intimacy of your most supreme and invincible nature. You're now the next version of your greatest self, able to bring on a bigger game, influence more people by the glorious power of your example, and be more useful to the world because you've owned more of your primal heroism. All your hard work, sacrifice and suffering, careful consistency and brilliant bravery come together in this stage as the new habit you've been working on integrates at a psychological, emotional, physical, and spiritual level, and becomes your new normal. The primary purpose of life is growth, to be continuously pushing yourself to materialize more of your potential. My daily push UPS not only keep me in a state of continual optimization toward world class. It's also a tremendous way to keep myself feeling young, happy, and alive. Boredom kills the human spirit. The exciting fact is that once you arrive at the automaticity point, you no longer need any willpower to get up at 5 a.m. The new regime's implementation into your human operating system is complete. Awakening before dawn becomes second nature. And easy. Here's the real gift from your excellence and devotion over the 66 or so days. The willpower you were using to lay down the early rising habit is now freed up for another world-class behavior, so you have the chance to grow even more productive, prosperous, joyful, and successful. This is the hidden secret of all pro athletes, for example. It's not that they have more self-discipline than the average person. It's just that they capitalized on whatever impulse control they had for 66 days until the game-winning routines got installed. After that, they redirected their willpower to something else that would improve their expertise. Another practice that would help them lead their field and achieve victory. One habit installation after another habit installation is how the pros play. Over time, their winning behaviors became automated, systematized, institutionalized. Absolutely no effort was required to run them once they got hardwired. And these superstars practiced their habits of victory so often, they've arrived at a place where they forgot how to not do them right. And at around the 66-day mark it locks in as an automatic routine. That's the automaticity point, because habits take around 9 weeks to implement. Don't stop getting up at 5 a.m. after a week. Don't give up when it gets messy in the middle of the process. Stay relentless through the entire exercise, through all its trials and challenges, just like Shah Jahan did as he and his workers constructed the Taj Mahal, building it into one of the wonders of the world. Awesome takes patience. And genius takes time. Stay true in your dedication to carving out an hour for yourself as the sun rises and while the majority sleeps, to develop your 4 interior empires that will set you up to realize all the outer ones that your big hearts long to actualize. Do not neglect the call on you to deploy your fullest talents, magnify your spectacular strengths. Multiply your happiness and discover a paradise of peace within you that no outer event can ever reduce. This, my friends, is how you become undefeatable, unbreakable, and a true master of your domain, as well as a wonder of the world, in your own unique way.
Helpful techniques to join the 5am Club.
I'll quickly walk you through 3 techniques that research confirms will help the 5 a.m. club morning routine stick. Then we're out of here. He pulled out the flashlight and focused its rays on the ceiling of the chamber. The following brain tattoos slowly appeared. Number 1. To make a habit last, never install it alone. Number 2. The teacher learns the most. Number 3. When you most feel like quitting is the time you must continue advancing. The first point will remind you that rituals run deepest when performed in a group. That's why being a member of the 5 a.m. club is so potent. You're not installing this morning routine alone. We're all in this together. And my sincere wish is that, when you cats get home, you bring as many people as you can, people who are ready to rise early so they can do world-class work and craft phenomenal lives into the club. Support groups have long been a proven way to make improvements that last. So, leverage this concept brilliantly, please. The second point will remind you to actually teach the philosophy and methodology you've been learning from me. As you do so, your own understanding of the material will deepen even more superbly. In many ways, educating others on all I've shared will be a gift you provide to yourself. And the final line you see on the ceiling is the most important. Remember that persistency is necessary for all forms of mastery. In that moment you feel you can't go further lies an enormous opportunity to forge an entirely new level of willpower. When you feel you can't continue, progress a little longer, your self-discipline muscle will be amplified considerably. And the degree of your self-respect will increase vastly. And few things are as essential to exponential productivity, leading your field and the creation of a life you adore, as raising the appreciation you have for yourself. You two amazing humans deserve to materialize your best selves and realize epic achievements, the billionaire said as he returned to Earth. Do not betray the powers that sleep within you by staying too late in a soft bed that keeps you sedated. The great men and women of the world became so not because they lounged glamorously under the covers, but because they set sublime ambitions that they then proceeded to do even as the majority called them crazy. World class takes time and commitment and sacrifice and patience, like the Taj Mahal shows us. And heroism never occurs in a single season. Encode the 5 a.m. habit. Stay with the process indefinitely and move ahead when you most feel like stopping. Doing so will make you a legend. And seal your fate as someone who is worthy of worldwide influence.